All right, in this video today, I'm going to be talking about destroying the self-image that's keeping you small. Because if you don't know it yet, your self-image controls your entire life and everything stems from that. We're going to get into that in this video. But before I tell you how, I'm going to go through a couple things so that you know how your self-image works and so that you can get motivated to actually change your self-image. So let's get into it. The pain of a weak self-image. When you have a weak self-image, your life is a life of struggle. It's a life of hardship because you don't think anything of yourself. You don't think highly of yourself. You don't believe in yourself. You walk with your head down. Now, you may not walk with your head down in real life, but that's what you're doing mentally because you're putting other people above you. You're putting yourself below other people. You're making yourself inferior in your mind, and the only inferiority is all mental. It's not real. And I can tell you from my own life experience, my biggest challenge in life was overcoming a weak self-image. Look, I was raised mute. I come from a terrible environment, depressed, fat, lazy, no discipline, no nothing. I didn't think highly of myself. I didn't think anything of myself except all negativity and all depressing stuff. And I was able to overcome all of this through changing my self-image. So I don't want you to go through life constantly in pain, constantly thinking that you're tied and you're trapped being a person you don't want to be and somebody that you didn't choose to be. What your future will look like. Now, when you look at this image right here, that's you on the ground. And the X is supposed to be over your eyes, but I guess something got messed up. But that's you on the ground in the future. Now, what this represents is you're dying empty. You didn't become all you could be, and you're dying empty. There's nothing around you. It's a wasteland. Because you didn't elevate yourself. And then you have your ghost coming up above you, still sad as shit. Don't let this be you. Don't live a life that you regret. Why? You know that you're going to die one day. I hope you know that. This all is going to end. All of the money that you're going to make, you're not going to be able to take it. You're not going to be able to take your wife or your girlfriend. You're not going to be able to take any of your friends. You're not going to be able to take your whole hometown. You're not going to be able to take none of that with you. I hope you know that. All of this is impermanent. And don't let this be negative. This is empowering. Because now you realize you can live life to the absolute fullest. You can do your best in this life and you can make the most of yourself. And you can be your best self and have what you want to have and do what you want to do and go where you want to go. You know you can do that, right? The only thing keeping you stuck is your self-image. So if you die with a weak self-image, you literally do not unlock any of your potential. Don't regret your life, how your self-image was formed. Now in this picture, you obviously see a young boy getting yelled at by his coach or his father. And you're asking, what does this have to do with my self-image? And the answer is it has everything to do with your self-image. Everything. Because during your formative years, this is when your self-image was being formed the most. Everything that you've been through, everything that you heard, the traumatic things that happened to you in your life, the things that you experienced with great emotion, how other people treated you, what other people said about you, their opinions, how you perceived what they said, how you perceived people treating you, your conditioning, your programming. All of this makes up your self-image, even your environment. And it's actually a good thing because it helps you actually relate to your environment so that you can live and survive. But you have control now. Now you have control. Since you're watching this video, you realize you can change your self-image. But most people live a life where they're living based off of the past. So the past thing that happened to them in their childhood, they're living based off of it. So let me give you a story. It was third grade. I was 7 years old. I remember it like it was yesterday. And one day, the teacher calls on somebody to read. Of course, I raise my hand and I start reading the page. And all of a sudden, I just hear all of this commotion going on. And I'm like, what's going on? So I look up. My best friend right next to me is red hot. He's yelling at everybody. He's like, yo, stop laughing at him. Stop laughing at my friend. That's my friend. Stop laughing at him. And I'm like, what is he talking about? So I look up and I look around, and the whole class is like laughing hysterically. And in that moment, I froze up, and it was like, damn, they're all laughing at me. They're all laughing at my voice. There's something wrong with me. I'm fucked up. So that day, I decided that nobody was going to make fun of my voice again. Nobody was going to laugh at my voice again or even get that chance. So I became mute. After that day, bro, I literally could not talk to you unless you was my parents or my brothers or my former friends. Anybody else, I literally could not talk. It's not that I didn't want to talk. It's that I could not literally open my mouth. I could only shake my head yes and no. And it wasn't until years ago that I went to a meditation retreat, and I was just meditating all day, and randomly this experience that I had forgot came up inside my mind, and I'm seeing it and I'm like, damn, this did happen. And I start to change the perspective of it, and I say, yo, these are just kids laughing at my voice. Maybe my voice was funny when I was a kid, but my voice obviously is not the same as it was when I was 7 years old. And even if it was, who cares what people think? Why would I hinder my life and go through life socially anxious, not talking to people because I'm afraid somebody's going to laugh at my voice? And that just hinders you from getting what you want in life. You can't get anything if you don't ask for it, if you don't go for yours. So when I did this and I was meditating and that came up, I changed the story that I was telling myself and I let it go. But even deeper than that, when I was talking to my therapist, and she said, well, it seems like before you were expressive and you wanted your voice to be heard, and that's the real you. But after this event, you suppressed your voice and you suppressed the real you, and it's just a big drastic change. In my head, I was like, damn, that changes it even more, because I grew up people telling me I was timid, shy, quiet, yada, yada, yada. And deep down, I knew that wasn't really me, but I allowed their opinions to dump on this self-image that I built for myself. So my real self was an expressive person, but I formed the self-image of a mute, then socially anxious, timid, shy, quiet person, awkward person, whatever it was. That was a false self-image. So I'm telling you this story to let you know that your self-image most likely is false. 99.99999 times out of 100, you did not build your self-image yourself. You did not consciously select it, which means it is false. Somebody else gave it to you. Somebody else gave you their opinions and their judgments and their beliefs and their critiques, and you took those to heart and you formed your self-image based off of that. And it's my mission for you to be able to live the life that you want to live, not living based off of the past all day, every day, bro, because I'm telling you, that's no way to live. Now, imagine a powerful self-image. What is a powerful self-image? It's a self-image where you're using your real personality, where you're actually being yourself, but you also feel powerful and everything feels natural to you. You feel confident in your own skin. You believe in yourself. You know what you're doing is right because you're listening to your intuition and you're listening to your heart. You're not listening to other people's opinions. Nobody's opinion can mess you up. Just like, for instance, I'm light skinned. I'm a light skinned black person. I'm not mixed, but I'm just a light skinned black person. Let's say somebody came to me and said, yo, you mixed. I know for an absolute fact that I'm just black. Both my parents are black. So I would throw off that opinion and it wouldn't affect me. But if I had a weak self-image, if I didn't know that was a fact, I would allow somebody else to tell me, oh, you're not black, or you're not this, or you're not tall, or you have no muscles. So a powerful self-image allows you to validate your damn self and be your greatest self and be your best self. This is where you live life to the fullest, where you get to live the life you really want to live. Now, this doesn't mean that you don't go through things in your life. I'm not saying everything is just going to be smooth your entire life, bro. But life is going to be 100 times better. So this is what 99% of people get wrong, just living life. And it's a higher percentage than that, to be honest. I just didn't feel like putting a whole bunch of decimals. But as you can see, that's the mirror that I put in the first slide of this video. It's a broken mirror. But that's not what you want to do. You don't want to break the mirror. Because what is that doing? You know what that is doing. That is trying to change the outer world without trying to change yourself. How can you change the reflection in the mirror if you don't change? How can you expect the mirror to reflect a clean-shaven face if you did not shave your face? How can you expect the mirror to reflect a muscular physique, a shredded physique, if you didn't go to the gym and you didn't diet and you didn't change something about yourself? It would be idiotic, right? But this is what people do every day. They're constantly trying to change the reflection in the mirror without changing themselves. Just like Michael Jackson said, I'm staring at the man in the mirror and I'm asking for him to change his ways, not trying to change the mirror. So what I'm saying is you have to change something about yourself, and changing is not bad, bro. I'm not asking you to change your essence or your soul. I'm trying to help you get down to your soul, bro. Because most likely, the things that you've been given in your life, bro, the conditioning, the programs, they're not really you. It's somebody else's agenda for how they want you to live. That's not really how you want to live. And you can tell based off how you feel. You can tell based off how you feel. If your vibration is low, something's off. Something's not in alignment. And you know how you feel on a daily basis. Building your self-image is basically getting down to your real self and what you actually want and what you actually want to do in life. Because deep down, you know. And once you do this, you will start to diminish all of the programs that's been given to you and all of the conditioning and all of the false beliefs and all the limiting beliefs and all of the wrong opinions about you, that you didn't come to that conclusion yourself. And that's no way to live. That's no way to live, living based off of what a kid in second grade said about you and letting that dictate your whole life. It's even no way to live what your parents said about you. They told you wouldn't be nothing or you would go to jail. And you make that your whole self-image. You don't have to do that. Now, I want you to imagine something, and this image is going to trigger a lot of people. But I just need you to view this objectively, without criticism, without subjectivity. I need you to take your opinion of this man out of your mind. Because in all honesty, it's kind of crazy to form an opinion and a judgment of a man that you never met in real life. Like, I don't care what nobody's doing, bro, with their life, bro. I'm too busy in my own. I don't form an opinion of people or a judgment of people unless I meet them in real life. If you haven't met them, it's crazy to hate somebody you never met in real life. But I digress. This is Elon Musk, as you know. Now, I want you to imagine something. Imagine this man that created Tesla, SpaceX. He's trying to send rockets to the moon. He was a co-founder in PayPal. He's one of the richest men alive. I want you to imagine this man working at McDonald's. This man is in the back flipping burgers and dipping fries in the fryer and making ice cream sundaes. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine him in a McDonald's uniform working at McDonald's? Hopefully you can. If you can imagine that, what are the possibilities? Because think about it. The reason why Elon Musk is who he is and where he has gotten in his life is because of his self-image. Because he believes himself to be a certain type of person. He believes that he can change the world. He believes that he can have an impact on the world. Whether you view it as positive or negative, that's a whole nother story. I'm just saying that's what he believes about himself. So his mind took him to that place. Or let's say hypothetically, there's a parallel reality where Elon Musk did not believe none of this. And he let his environment make him have a negative self-image and negative thoughts about himself. So he just worked at McDonald's his whole life. Imagine if that version existed. Can you imagine that? If you can see him like that, guess what? You can reverse your situation. You can see yourself no matter what situation you're in, whether you're in a business and you're stuck at a certain plateau and you're working and nothing's getting through. You can imagine yourself making 10 times more money. What would that person do? How would that person act? Who is that person? That's how you're going to get to the next level. Or let's say you've been trying to go to the gym, you've been trying to get in shape, you've been trying to lose weight, but there's just so much resistance to doing it. You have to take yourself right now and imagine a new version of yourself. The person that's in shape. What does this person do? How does this person talk? How does this person walk? Where does this person eat? What does he eat? What does he not do? You have to literally become a different person to get a different result in life. To get different results, you have to raise your level of consciousness. Look, that's how you do it. Start to imagine yourself as who you want to be. Imagine it every day. Start with 10, 15 minutes. Just sit down and start to visualize yourself being who you actually want to be and doing what you want to do. And stick with it. Because I'm telling you, as somebody who has done this, when I was socially anxious, bro, when I couldn't talk to people, I started meditating. I just started meditating every single night. And I was doing affirmations and I was visualizing myself speaking to people. I was visualizing myself getting women. I was visualizing myself having good relationships with people. And eventually my mind took me there. Eventually I became that person. Pretty much everything I've gotten in my life, I've imagined it. So your imagination literally creates your whole world, bro. So use it. Now, at first, when you start to visualize, your mind is going to drift and you're probably not going to have clear images. It's a muscle that you have to build. You got to build that muscle up. It's not just going to come overnight. Some people, yeah, it could come overnight, but you have to build that muscle up. So I'm going to tell everybody, just so it's concrete, every night, set a 15-minute timer before you go to bed. Sit in a chair or sit cross-legged somewhere. Get your back straight. And just start to visualize yourself being who you want to be. Start affirming to yourself who you want to be. It's just how it works. It's how your mind works. When you study the mind, when you study the universe, you know that this stuff works. Start to do that and your life will change. Just like my life did change multiple times by doing this, bro. And if you need help with this, if you don't want to go through the trials and tribulations and the extra struggle and all the studying and all the reading, and because it does take a lot, but you can do it by yourself. But if you need help with this and you want to fast forward your progress, I can help you. And I'm offering you my help because I want to see you get to where you want to go to. I want to see you become your greatest version so that this world can become a better place. I want to see you live your best life and do what you want to do and have what you want to have without going through the miles and miles of pain that I went through to learn all of this. So if you want help with this, I usually just work with entrepreneurs, but if you need help, there's going to be a link in the description. It's to an application. Answer every question detailed. I'm going to go through it and see if I can help you. If I can't help you, I might not reply because I can't help everybody. But if I can help you, then I'm going to try to do all that's in my power to help you. So I'm here to help you, bro. I'm here to help you on this journey. Do what I said in this video. Listen to this multiple times. It's Zen Hustler, no slave. I'm out.